So, all of you can sit in Sukhasana. Mute your calls, mute yourself so that everybody is on mute and you can hear me. So we'll start today's session. It is an interactive session, so we'll be speaking with each other, trying to understand the difficulties, trying to understand where we can improve, what are the practices, etc. Anytime, unmute yourself and speak, and then we can find out the answers for them. So we start with the prayer. Sit straight. Now you can see the first thing that I want to tell all of you is that the position of your mat. Now if you see, my full mat is visible to you, right? This edge of the mat, this edge of the mat. Okay. And if I stand up, so even this position is visible to you, right? So the first thing that you should take care is your own positions. How you place your camera and the mat. So it should be about 8 feet from your mat. So otherwise, imagine now I do this class. If I do like this, now how will you feel? Like now, if I stand like this, half of me is visible. You'll not be able to understand what I'm talking about, right? So some people only the leg is visible. Some people only the upper body is visible. So it is like that. So if you don't keep your camera properly and ensure that you're properly visible, the teachers cannot help you. I mean, we cannot understand what you're doing, and we cannot also correct the practices if something is going wrong. So ensure that even if you when I spread my hands, legs, if I lie down on the mat, if I go to this edge of the mat, if I go to that edge of the mat, all these places I am visible to you. So you should keep your camera in such a way that you are clearly visible. That's the first thing that you should ensure. Now let us start with the prayer. Sit properly with the back straight. You should not keep the rounded back like this. Keep up your chest and keep your shoulders wide. That's the way to start the prayer. From here, inhaling, take your arms over your head. Exhaling, bring them to center of the heart. Close the eye, take in breath. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै Inhaling, take the hand straight up through the center, straight up, and then exhaling, bring it down through the sides. That is how you have to come back from Namaskara Mudra. Now if you see, the Om that I chanted was quite long. So all the Omkaras are considered as a long, prolonged breath, right? Because your Om is going on. So that itself is a pranayam. So focus on good inhalations before chanting the Om. So if you take a short breath like Om, that's all. So they don't do that. Try to take a good inhale. So like that, you have to do the Omkara. The proper in-breath before Om is important. Okay. Now we start with the loosening practices. So this month, the loosening practices are in sitting position. So first I'm going to start. Okay. So I'm going to turn. You don't have to turn because my mat is like this. Because of my space is nice. So I'm going to face this side. So I keep my hands behind and legs in front. Shake my legs a little time. So this is the starting loosening practice. So I just shake my legs. So ankles, toes, heels, knees, everything are getting loose. After little time of shaking, I keep my legs together. Inhale and point the toes. So this is toes pointing. Exhale and pull it back towards the kneecap. Inhale front. Exhale back. This is the method. Inhale front. Exhale back. 5 times. Inhale front. Even the fingers will be pointed. Observe it. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale front and exhale back. Now I rotate my feet. 1. All the direction. 2. 3. Observe the knees are not bending. 4. 5. Then change. 1. 2. When doing this, breath is normal. 3. Just observe your feet. 4. So it's a feet rotation. 5. Now inhaling, I sit straight, keeping the hands by the side of the hip. When I exhale, bend the left leg, touch chin on the knee. This way. Inhale, release. Exhale, bend the other. Inhale, release. Exhale, left. Inhale, straight. Exhale, right. Inhale, release. Exhale, left. Inhale, release. Exhale, right. And inhale, release. Then exhaling, bend the left leg. Interlock the fingers below your thigh. So where is the hand? It's below the thigh but close to the knee. It's not down here. I keep it close to the knee. And with an in-breath, I try to straighten my leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Is the body moving? No. Inhale. Is the hand moving? Exhale. Nothing. Only the bottom of the leg. Inhale, exhale. Everything else is constant. Inhale and exhale. Then release that leg. Exhale, fold the other leg. Keep this interlock. Inhale, down. Up, down. Whatever possible. Up, this is also fine. Down. After a week, up, little more, it will increase. Down. And when after 2-3 months, it will become like this. And down. Release. So another mistake, I will tell you what people do. Now, anybody please tell me if you are on unmute, what is the mistake here? Up, down. What is the mistake here? Many people do this because they don't want to stretch.
Actually, the place below the knee should go up, and then it's going straight.
Yeah. So I have to keep my hand here and straighten. This much is also fine. So don't compromise on this. Then the stretch will not come. How will the improvement happen? It will not happen. So don't think that straightening the leg is more important than what you're doing. So what you're doing is this: 1, 2, this way. 1, 2. After 6 months, 1, 2. Exhale, release. Sorry, inhale, release. Now, left leg fold and cross over the right thigh. It crosses over, outside the thigh. Catch the toe, ankle rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now keep that leg Padmasana on the navel. So it comes into the navel. Heel will come to the navel. Hands back, flap the thigh. 1. So I'm flapping my left thigh. 2. I'm going a little slow. 3, because I'm explaining. 4 and 5. Now I catch this toe with my left hand and inhale, try to straighten the leg with the help of my hand. 1. So I lift it up and try to straighten it. 3. It may not become like this, it may be like this, that's fine. 4. But observe the process. 5. When I keep it down, I keep it straight arm, straight leg, along with both I keep it down. Some people do this. Don't do it. Then right leg fold and cross over the left thigh. It crosses over. Catch the toe, ankle rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ulta. 1, 2. I am holding this hand because this should not move. The ankle will move. 3. Otherwise, everything will move. 4, 5. Then I keep this leg also Padmasana close to the navel and flap the right thigh. 1, 2. Continuously flap. 3, 4 and 5. Then I hook the toe. See, now I'm going to show you how to hook the toe. Now this is my toe, right? This is my palm. These two fingers, the index finger, middle finger, these two fingers, take it, and the in toe, after the big toe, the second finger is there. Between those two, put these two fingers. So these two fingers will go between the first and the second finger of the toe, and then I hook it. That's called hooking. So I hook the toe with my finger. So this is how to hook the toe. Then inhaling, I straighten my leg front and up. 2. So you should know when I say hook the toe, how to hook the toe. 2. So if you don't attend this class, how will you know when I say hook your toe? You'll dream, अरे यार hook किधर है, toe किधर है, वो सब ढूंढेगा. You will not be able to understand. That's why all these classes are very important. Then exhale, keep it down along with the hand and leg together. Then inhaling, fold both the legs. I don't have space here, so I'm going to turn a little. You don't have to turn, okay? So I fold both the legs into the groin, catch both the toe. So here don't do, if you do like this, back pain guarantee. You will get better if you do your butterfly like this. You have to come up and then flap. 1, 2. So your chest is up and your shoulders are wide. 3. Then the force comes here, we come into my groins. 4. So keeping the chest wide and back straight, I keep flapping. And 5. Now I'm feeling nice on my groins. After doing that, release both the legs in front of you. Putting the hands behind, put the chin on chest. Close your eye, neck rotate. 1. Take it all the side. 2. A nice rotation of the neck. 3. Take it back, right, chin on chest. 4. One more good circle. 5. Now change. 1. You'll actually feel very nice and relaxed when you do this. 2. I'm trying to take it everywhere. 3. 4. One more round. 5. Done. Then I keep my legs together. Bring the hands in rowing position. See my toe? Toe is pointed. I take in breath. Exhale, when I go down, the toe will come to me. When I pull back, it will go away from me. 2. Inhale, pull back. 3. What is this called? Inhale, pull back. Anybody? 4. Inhale.
Rowing a boat.
Yeah. 5. In your Sanskrit, what is it called?
Nauka Chalana.
1. Nauka Chalana. Back. 2. So when I'm going to front, what is happening the toe? It's coming to me. When I'm going away from me. 3. Pull back. 4. Pull back. One more. 5. And back. Then spread my legs. So I don't have space here. So I spread this way. I spread them into wide V shape. Just a second. Yeah. So I take a good V shape with my legs. Inhale, I bring my hands in front, interlock the fingers. Take an in breath here. Exhale, go to the left leg. Inhale, rotate to the right and come back. Exhale 2. Inhale, rotate back. Exhale 3. Inhale, back. Exhale 4. Inhale, back. Exhale 5. And inhale back. Now change. 1. Other direction. 2. 3. I'm trying to go a little more deeper. 4. What is this called? Chakki Chalana. 5. So 5 plus 5, 10 rounds over. Then I fold my legs to Sukhasana. So here is the time if you want to do Siddhasana or Padmasana. So what is Siddhasana? One leg Padmasana. So you can keep one leg on the other thigh. This is one leg Padmasana. If you like to do full Padmasana, definitely you can do that also. But if beginners, I suggest suddenly don't do Padmasana because there is a twist that happens on the knee when you do Padmasana. So be careful. Suddenly don't do Padmasana in the first day itself. You will enjoy your knees. So even if you are going to do, gently, slowly keep it. One leg. Okay. And the next day when you do, you can keep the other leg up. When you keep one leg, there is not much of twisting because the bottom is supported by the other feet. So the twist on the knee will not come. So this is called Siddhasana. Then bring the arms in front. Fist close. Spread. Close. Spread. Close. Spread. Close. Spread. Close. Spread. Palm drop. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Fist close. Rotate the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands on shoulder. Straighten the arms front. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. Fold, straight. One more. Fold, straight. Fold the arm, touch the elbows in front. Shoulder rotate. 1. Take it all the side. 2. Inhalation and exhalation. 3. Observe the elbow. Where is the elbow going? Upwards. 4. Upwards. Are you getting this position? This position is coming or not? Check it. One more round. 5. Upward, upward. Now change. 1, 2. Up, up, up. See, if you go too fast, what will happen, Tanmay? 3. You cannot monitor what is happening. 4. And your shoulder will not become stronger. One more round. 5. Now, if you do like this, Tanmay, I remember your thing. What will happen? Huh? Nothing will happen. You will get some this one exercise, that's all. There is no mind in that. If you want to put mind on that, you take up and feel that, take it back, feel it and bring it back. Inhale. Exhale. That feeling has to come off the rotation with the mind. Then only it is practicing properly. Now interlock the fingers, inhale and stretch the arms to the sky. So what is this called? Parvatasana. Stretch and stay for a while. 1, normal breath is enough. 2, so I'm trying to really lengthen the arm. 3, see my shoulders are pulling my backbone up. 4, my breath is normal. I finish the last in breath there. 5, exhale, hands down. That completes almost everything about loosening except the spinal loosening, which will be done by Marjariyasana. So I release my legs in front, shake a little time, keeping the hands behind. After that, I fold my legs and come to cat position. So the cat. So you can sleep the toes if you're good. If you find there is a pain on the knee, you can stand your toe. This is both fine. So this is called sleeping toe. This is called standing toe. Fingers will be always wide open. Look at that. That wide open fingers will come. That opens the carpal tunnel. So that push of the hand is important. Marjariyasana. Inhale, head up, tailbone up. So the center becomes U shape. Exhale, reverse. It should become inverted U shape. Inhale, 2. Chin up, look towards the eyebrow. Exhale. I'm reversing the direction. Inhale. See the effortful lift of the head. Exhale. You can breathe ujjayi in this. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Now stay there, breathe normally. 1, 2. See, I'm literally looking towards the eyebrow. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. I'm pushing and lifting the center. 1, 2, 3. Chin on chest. 4, 5. Inhale, look straight. Neutral position. Exhale, lift the knee backwards. Go to mountain position. Stay for some time. 1. So I'm trying to lengthen my back and little concave it. 2. Look towards the navel. 3. 4. One more number. 5. Step forward both the legs. So how many steps I'll take? I'll take. I did not say walk forward. I said step. So step means one step. It's not like this. If you find it tough, it's okay. Some people are doing this. I did not say that. What did I say? Try to step forward, inhale, head up. That's exactly what the term I use. So I step forward, inhale, head up. Where is the head up? Up. Many people, they stay here only with the head down. They just step and keep the head down. No. Head up. So the back concave. Did you observe the back concave? If you do this, back will round. Here, step forward, inhale, head up. And then exhale, head on the knee. Then inhale, stand up, hands up sideways. The hand will go sideways. Join the palm, look at the thumb. Then exhale, bring the hands down. Sideways. I don't have space here, my wall is here. So, so many people, they don't know how. So, who's there? Anita and all. What is the meaning of hands up sideways? Hands up sideways like this, no? When you bend forward, hands down sideways. So how will you bend forward with the hands sideways? That is bending down, hands sideways. How will you stand up, bringing the hands sideways? Like this. Exhale, hands down. Now, when I came back, see my position? Is there any gap between my feet? Is there any gap between my palm and the thigh? Can you see any gaps? You cannot. Because my mind is fully into what I'm doing here. My feet is literally touching each other. My hands. So some people, Tadasana. This cannot be Tadasana. This cannot be Tadasana. This is Tadasana. Okay. That completes loosening practice. Any doubts on loosening? Any questions quickly? Otherwise, Chandra Namaskar is coming.
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yeah.
Neha, this is Neha, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, when we bend forward to touch the chin on the knees, I am unable to do it, and in the process, I tend to bend my knees.
That's okay. Fine. That's okay. See, initially it will be like this. Like if I am bending the knee, it will be like this. This much only you can go, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So instead of doing this and doing, so you can slightly bend the knee and bring the chin on the knee this way. This is fine. So don't round the back, trying to touch the head like this. So some people, no, don't round your back like this. And then trying to touch like this. It will not touch. It will touch, but your back will start paining. It will cause problems. So you have to bring the flat back to the leg. So bringing the chin front. See, the flatter the back, the better.
Okay.
Imagine beyond this I cannot bend. So what do? Bend the knee and just touch.
And here my drishti should be on the nose.
Nose, yeah. Forward bending, the drishti is on the nose. In Surya Namaskara, whatever you're doing. Somebody else was there. Who was that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, here, sir. One quick check for shoulder movement. Is there any tips which you can suggest so that the movement of the arms basically is better, in the sense not able to stretch it as much as you're able to do?
The extension of the shoulder, right? So
Yes.
one thing that you can see is when you do that Parvatasana, so when you lift the arms and stretch it up, no, that time, that is one place where the shoulder extension comes really high, because you will take it up really high. So try to, I hope when you lift your arm up, your shoulder should touch the ear. When you do that upward stretch, you try, just try, when you just lift your arm and check, is the shoulder touching the ear?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So maybe that's where you can, when you do that Parvatasana and all the asanas like your Gomukhasana, you know this Gomukhasana comes, right? Now here when you do Gomukhasana, the shoulder stretches are very good. Like, so this shoulder takes up and this shoulder goes down. So you get a good lock. So do those asanas with little more, improvements. Try to swing, take that arm up as high as you can lift up, bend it, and then take this hand back and try to get that lock as firm as you can when you do asanas like Gomukhasana. So some asanas of Parvatasana, Gomukhasana, you can, and in advanced classes we have got some asanas for like that. Prasarita Padottanasana is there, keeping the arm back and stretching. So all those asanas you can focus a little more if you find there is a little stiffness on your shoulders.
Sir, I have a question, Alka here.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a slight problem with my left knee. So is Siddhasana or Padmasana okay for that, or should I just sit in Sukhasana?
Sukhasana is better. And see,
Okay.
knee problems, see all the twists and the all the terminal flexions are not good for your knee problem.
Okay.
Like if you do that Vajrasana, now this is a terminal flexion. It's a complete flexion of the knee, right? So it's not very
Right.
good for knee problem. Similarly, some people get a pain while terminal extension. So this is terminal extension. When you do Trikonasana, I'll show you one quick thing. Like, yeah, just observe my Vrikshasana, okay? I'm just keeping one leg up and balancing. Now, if you see my leg is fairly straight. Now, if I do this, this is wrong.
Okay.
This is right. This is wrong.
Okay.
We find the minor difference between that. Now, if I keep like this, the back of the knee is soft. Here, the knee is still soft. But when I push this way, now if I put it this way, now it's hard. The back of the knee has become hard here.
Okay. Okay.
Don't do that terminal, this one, extension. Keep it soft this way.
Okay.
Right, maybe 2 or 3 mm difference can protect your knee.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Don't do a terminal extension. Don't do a terminal extension and flexion both. Then other thing is, even if you do a Padmasana something, keep a brick below like this.
Okay.
Now see, my knee is supported with this brick. You can keep it like this also. So
Okay.
it will not twist. It is protected.
Okay.
See, now both the sides my knees are raised a little.
Okay.
So I'm feeling very, see, when I take my class, sitting position, I sit here and take the class. So it goes for about 3 hours, right? I start at 6 and by class is over. So 3 hours I'm sitting in, so I keep changing my positions. Sometimes I sit like this, after some time I straighten my legs. Then I sit with the back support sometimes. So I keep changing my positions so that none of the positions is too, taxing on my joints. And I keep these bricks below my thighs like this many a times.
Okay.
So I don't, yes, there is an impact, but to the certain extent it is reduced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question, Neha, here. Sir, I have noticed that on the right side, whichever stretches I'm doing, it is much better than on the left side. So what can I do? Is there something I can do during the stretching?
See, generally I will tell you, most of the people, one side is stronger than the other. See, for example, I'm a right-handed person. My right hand is strong. When I do my Gomukhasana like this, my grip is better because this hand goes deeper for me. But when I do this side, is not as good as the previous one. This is okay, I can say. Not as good as the previous hold. So this hand is more flexible for me compared to this hand. Similarly, the legs are also like that. For me, the twist, when I do Hanumanasana, my left leg stretches better. My right leg is not as, doesn't stretch as good as my left leg. This is there with most of the people. It is because in a little of, we tend to use one side more than the other many of the times. It's quite natural. Don't worry too much about it. Don't, so gradually when you practice, it will improve. So it's not nothing to be worried about. It's a quite natural phenomena. So maybe when you're stretching a little, don't hurt yourself. When there is a pain, that indicates it's time for you to stop and then give it time to get improved with practice. Give it a little time. Don't be harsh on one side. It's quite natural. Don't worry much about it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Otherwise, I go ahead. So then I go to Chandra Namaskara. Little space limitations there. So when I move my hands, I may not be very correct. So Samastiti. I inhale, take my arms over the head. Exhale to heart center. Close the eyes. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्त्वं सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन्न पावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये Inhale, open the eyes. Exhale, look at the nose. Now I take one Ujjayi breath. Then I will continue that breath. I'll go a little slow. Ekam, inhale, stretch my arm backward. Dvi, exhale, bend forward. Trini, left leg back, inhale, hands up. Chatwari, exhale, hands down. Pancha, inhale, other leg back. Shat, exhale, knee, chin, chest. Knee, chin and chest. Sapta, slip the toe, inhale, chest up. Ashta, exhale, lift the back. Nava, left foot front, inhale, hands up. Dasha, exhale, hands down, leg forward. Ekadasha, inhale, stand up. Dvadasha. Now I will do one round without talking. So observe the breath styles. So what I did now is called moon salutations or Chandra Namaskara. Now this is done for 10 rounds. We will talk about it after I finish the last two rounds. What is that? Ashtanga B Surya Namaskara. So how do we start that? I say Ekam, bend the knee, touch the mat, inhale, hands up. So I'm going to do one round explaining, and the second round I will do without explaining. Exhale, bend forward. Trini, inhale, head up. See the head and concave back. Chatwari, step back, exhale and go down. Pancha, inhale, chest up. Shat, exhale, lift your back. Sapta, right leg front, bend the knee, turn the left leg. Here, the heel has to turn. Inhale, hands up. All in one inhale. Virabhadra. Exhale, go down.
Inhale, chest up. Exhale, go back. Ekadasha. Left leg front, turn the right leg. Dwadasha. Trayodasha. And Chaturdasha. 5 breath. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Panchadasha. Step front, inhale, head up. Shodasha. Exhale, head on the knee. Saptadasha. Bend the knees, inhale, hands up. Exhale to Samasthiti. So any doubts on what we did? Chandra Namaskar 10, Ashtanga B, Surya Namaskar 2.
So possible to show with the timer, sir, both of them.
Yeah, okay.
Also soft landing when we come back, when we jump and come back in Ashtanga B. Can you just show the soft landing?
Yeah, so when you do the hop, even jumping back, jumping forward, try to do it as soft as you can. Like
from here, when you jump back, bend the knee, lift up in the air. So try to shift the weight forward. Land as soft as you can. Like that. You should not land like a... So try to lift the hip and soft line. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible and land. Similarly, when you jump back, don't jump with the hand and the leg in the same line. Keep it a little forward, bend the knee, lift up. You see, I was trying to
fly the hip up and land as soft as I can. So try to follow like that. Now I will do one round of Chandra Namaskar and Ashtanga B Surya Namaskar with the timing. Wait, sorry. I think it's not audible. Yeah. And now I'll do Ashtanga Surya Namaskara with the timing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So that was Ashtanga B and Chandra Namaskara with the counting. So any clarifications required on Chandra Namaskar, Surya Namaskar? No doubts.
Sir, I don't know, can women do during their cycles?
First
Uh,
2 to 3 days avoid. First 2 or 3 days avoid. And 4th or 5th day, even if you're practicing, you can avoid inversions, Kapalabhati, Vastrika and all, where little intense action happens. No, you can avoid Kapalabhati, Vastrika, inversions on all the 4 or 5 days. The first 2 days, don't do anything.
okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts? No. Then we go to Trikonasana Parivarta. So what are the standing asanas? Udhyana Agnisara. So after this, what do? We do the eye rotations, right? Opening the eyes and keeping the feet apart. Eye rotation. 5 rounds, both the direction. Change the direction also. Then catching the waist. Inhale, look at the nose. Exhale, look at the wall in front. Single point. Nose, wall, nose, wall, nose, wall. One more round. Nose, stay for some time. Breathe normally. On the wall also look some time. 1 point. Then bend hands on the knee, slightly bend the knees. I'll show the side view so that you can actually see. So some of the corrections here you should notice when you do the load of the body is on the arm. Don't do, so the hand is not loaded, back is loaded.
You have to load the hand. See, the weight is on the hand. So if I slip my hand, I will fall. So the spine is straight and long. It's not, if you do this, back pain will come. Now here, see my spine. What is this difference? Do you find a difference? This is not correct. This is rounding the back. Keep the back straight and take the weight on the arm when you do Udhyana, Agnisar and all. Keeping the knee bent. Take in breath. Exhale. Suck the stomach. After about 10 to 12 to 15 seconds, inhale. Now see, I'm dripping through my nose, forehead, everywhere. But I should not put AC, fan and all. See, when this sweat goes out from the body, lot of unwanted salts go away. Don't hate your sweat. Start loving your sweat. The sweat going out is unwanted, toxins and salts all going away from the system. Don't store this in the body. Remove it through proper sweating. Then second round with the knee straight. Don't think that sweating, अरे यार पर ये हो गया, मैं बहुत पानी पानी हो गया, मेरा मैं आज कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं बहुत weak हो गया, कुछ नहीं होगा. Nothing will happen if you sweat. Don't think after sweating you will become tired. No, you will not. It's only misconception. You will become more fresh. Second round with the knee straight. Exhale. Suck stomach. I took an in breath and stopped that. Then with the knee bend, Agnisara Kriya. Inhale. I'll do only once. Pumping. Then with the knee straight, the same. Then the last one will be standing Udhyana. So from Udhyana we come to standing. So I'm going to skip all of them, otherwise we will not have time. Then I go to Trikonasana, Parivarta Trikonasana. I have shown that in the last week also. Now, any doubts? Anybody has specific questions? Then I'll answer that. If there are no questions, then I'll go to all these asanas. Any questions? Anybody?
No, sir.
Yep. I don't have. Who is that? Okay. I come to Samasthiti. Triangle posture, twisted triangle posture. I'll show you. Take in. Ekam is inhale. Take the right leg out. Do exhale. Right foot turn. Look over the right shoulder. The body doesn't turn. 3 and inhale, open the arms. Parallel. Chatwari, exhale, bend sideways. And then when I start inhaling, I have to look up. One breath. 2. Tail of the third exhale, I look down. Now inhale, come up. Exhale, turn. Inhale, turn other side. Exhale. Now see, some of the important points, let me tell you. Did you observe the same thing which what I told Alka? See the back of this knee is, see the differences. I should not do this. I should not do this. I have to do this.
Okay, okay.
You got this? Yeah. Alka, not only Alka. You asked a good question. That's why all others I want you to notice that.
Yeah, yeah.
This is right.
Okay.
This is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is also wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So this is called a horse knee.
Okay.
Like this is called a horse knee. It will unnecessarily effuse your joint. Joint effusion is there. With age, by the knees will get effused.
Okay.
Don't push this side, neither that side. So it should be in the middle. You should be able to feel that yes, my legs are straight, but not unduly strained.
Okay.
Now the legs are straight, but they are not like a horse knee. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Anita is also doing that same mistake. Anita Vura. Yeah, I know all these things I'm noticing. What you're doing with the legs. See, all these intelligence is required. So don't do this. Don't do this. Do this. Okay. These are all subtle things. And after 3 breaths, I look down. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Look front. Then I inhale, turn right again. Now windmill. So I turn the palm up. From here, I turn the palm, exhale. Now my hands will go like a fan. You have seen windmills, no? How the fan will rotate like that. So look like that. Got that? How I rotated my arms to come to twisted Trikonasana. See the depth of my inhalation. Now let me show a slower breath. It was 8 seconds inhalation and 8 second exhalation. So I need to just take one breath here. And then tail of that exhale, I look down. Then I inhale, come up, windmill the arms. You saw that windmill. Then exhale. Inhale, turn. And then exhale, windmill. After 3 breaths, I inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale, catch. Exhale and turn to jump. So did you see how I bend the knee for jumping? You cannot jump without bending the knee like this. So you bend the knee, take the momentum. So take that spring action of the leg and land when you jump forward. Okay. So that was Trikona, Parivar Trikona. Ardha Kati. So any other questions? Anybody? How do I go to? Yeah. പറയൂ.
എനിക്ക് ട്വിസ്റ്റഡ് ത്രികോണാസനം സാർ കാണിച്ചത് എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പം മീൻസ് മുട്ട് മടക്കാതെ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാനേ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പൊ എന്താ ചെയ്യാ?
പറ്റുന്ന മാതിരി ചെയ്യാം. ഇപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് തിരിഞ്ഞു അല്ലേ?
എന്തായാലും മടങ്ങും, കാല് അങ്ങനെ സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നിൽക്കില്ല. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി ബാക്കോട്ട് പോകും. കാല് സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് സ്ട്രെയിൻ എടുത്തിട്ട് ഇപ്പൊ സാറ് കാണിച്ചില്ലായിരുന്നു, അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യരുത് എന്ന്.
എങ്ങനെ ഇതുവരെ എത്തുള്ളൂ? അപ്പൊ
അതുവരെ എത്തുള്ളൂ.
ഇതുവരെ
താഴെ മുട്ടൂല.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല. നമ്മൾ പെർഫെക്ഷൻ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്, ഭയങ്കര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്, കുറച്ച് മുട്ട് മടക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് ഇവിടെ എത്തുക. എത്തിയതിനു ശേഷം കുറേശ്ശെ നിവർത്താൻ നോക്കുക. അങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലായോ? ഇപ്പൊ എത്തുമ്പോ എങ്ങനെ എത്തിയെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കും. യു റീച്ച് ദ പ്ലേസ് ലൈക്ക് ദിസ് വിത്ത് ദ knee bend. You know the knee should straighten. So after reaching there, looking up, keeping this hand on the floor, try to straighten your leg like that. Slowly try to straighten it. initially bend the knee. So Trikonasanathilum, adhe mari, if you find it's very tough, then you reach like this, bending the knee little. After some time, slowly straighten that leg like that. Slowly straighten.
കൈ നിലത്ത് മുട്ടില്ല സാർ, അപ്പൊ പൊങ്ങിപ്പോവും കൈ. അപ്പൊ
So, whatever possible, do gradually try to improve that straightness. That's what I can tell you.
Sir, but the end of the palm should be on the mat, right, sir? It's not just the, just the fingers as such.
Yeah, no, full palm. So what you can do, you can use bricks like this. Do you have bricks? Because see, you have to apply pressure somewhere to get the triangle. So when I do trikona like this is also a good technique. Like same method, inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. So I reach my hand here and then push this hand and try to. So after 2 or 3 weeks, make it like this, or maybe a month or 2, and then make it third position. There are 3 positions for the break, and finally get rid of it.
Sir,
So-
can you please show me how to move the hands once again, sir?
That windmilling.
There is, sir.
So see how the fan will rotate. The fan. So from here I turn my palm. So it was like this. When I turned, then I turned the palm. Then I have to rotate the arm in one plane. Like that. While coming back also. So imagine your arms are like a fan. Like that. You practice 3-4 times, it will come. So Anju, what you can do is, if you have some bricks, or order in Amazon before lockdown and all.
ഓക്കെ സാർ. സാർ ഇത് ആമസോണിൽ വാങ്ങിച്ചാണോ?
Allah, this is there in Amazon also. Many people have, I think Divya or somebody can share the link which you have purchased.
Sure, sir.
Now, please share the link with Anju. She's there in the group. Anju Dev, right?
യെസ് സാർ.
Anju Dev. She's there in the group. If you can share.
Sure, sir, I'll do.
Yeah. Any other query? Okay, so I go to Ardhakati Chakrasana. The next asana is Ardhakati. Starting with the left arm, standing straight. Automatically see, no gap, everything is tight. Ekam inhale, left arm up sideways, point to the sky. Dvi exhale, bend the body to the left. So what did I do? My hip was here, no? My hip went that side, my body went here. So don't do this. There is no Ardhakati like this. There is no stretch only from this side. So you have to push the hip to the other side, bring the body this side. Because I equal the weight. It's a side bending. You can see my here, it's really stretching. This part of the hip. That's where the pull has to come. This fat has to pull. Just to pull and lengthen. So I have to long and then stretch like that. Okay, then inhale and come back. Other side. See that length, I have stretched my this side. It's not, now I'll show you the same asana, it will look same, but it's not correct. Is there any stretch here? No stretch only. So without stretching this part, I am bending. It will not be effective. So I have to stretch this part. Lengthen it. Then exhale. Now you can see, nice pull come here. So what happens? This rib, all these ribs will come away. The ribs will come away. So my pranayama will become better. My breathing improves because all the ribs will expand. The distance between the ribs will increase when I do Ardhakati Chakrasana. See how it works? That is Ardhakati. Then Uttita Hastapadangushtasana. See automatically how my breath changes. Does this program come into your mind involuntarily? It has to come. So without you telling me, it is coming for me. No, even without my knowledge is coming. It's like a program in my mind when I start the asana. Now I'm not breathing like that, right? Now the moment I start my asana, when I stand straight like a tree, I start that breath. Automatic, involuntarily. Ekam. Dvi. I'm purposefully stopping here. Am I leaning? No. I'm not perfect. That's fine. 2. 3. Inhale. Exhale. So did I straighten my leg? No. I don't want to do it. It's okay. I will do only this much. But my mind is very, very active in that asana. Okay, that's the intelligence. And what you should not do, you should not do this. I'll show you the wrong process. What is happening? Back is bending. I will get back pain, guarantee. Instead of that, do this. After 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, maybe 10 years. Okay, that's the practice you have to learn. Sometimes it may happen in 2 weeks, sometimes 20 years. Let it take, no problem. That's over. So I come back from standing to sitting asanas. Any doubts? Otherwise, I go to Atho Mukha Virasana. So the next asana, downward facing hero. Vira means hero. Virasana is a very good asana for all lower back problems. It's used in our university also for all therapy. How to stretch, flatten, widen the thighs and lie down between the thighs. That's called Atho Mukha Virasana. Ekam. Inhale, spread the knees apart. Spread the knees apart. So good spread has to come. On the exhalation and bend forward, keep the forearm on the mat. So I keep the forearm. I'm looking front. Now inhaling, I'll go a little back. Inhaling, stretch the arms in front. So this stretch, this reach is important. See why there is a need for all these steps. You can directly lie down, no? It will not happen. The reason is the opening will not come. That's why there are steps for everything. Ekam is an open of the thigh. Exhale, bring the forearm on the mat. Looking front. Then inhale, stretch the arms in front, lengthen it. See that length looking forward. On the exhalation, lie down between the thighs. If you want, you can put your forehead like this. If you like to put the chin, you can do it. I like putting the chin because my chest touches the floor. If your chest is not touching the floor, you can keep your head like this. See the depth of the breath. It is reaching by lower lobes of the lungs. One more breath, let me take. Pancha inhale, head up. Shat exhale, draw the arms to the knee. Sapta inhale, sit up. Keep the hands on the thigh. And then exhale. See, all these steps will become completely meaningless if you don't breathe properly. Don't you feel so? Don't you feel so that if I don't inhale and spread my knee, now imagine I do like this. No breath only. Normal breath. There is no depth for the breath. I'm doing without any breath control. See this. Do you find there is any meaning to this? Zero meaning, I'm telling you. Breathing multiple times. Where is the breath going? Here. Upper part of the lungs, just below the throat, that's all. It doesn't go anywhere into the body. So, as I told you, if you are attending my class, you have to learn proper breathing. If you are not breathing properly in the class, you will not practice more than a few months. After a few months, अरे यार एक होगा नहीं यार, चलो छोड़ दो, जाएगा आज, मतलब जाने का नहीं क्लास में, बंद कर दिया. क्यों? Because you don't want to improve, you don't want to breathe well, you don't want to enjoy that music and the meaning of what you practice. The meaning comes to all this only with deliberate, purposeful, slow, deep, complete breathing. Without that, you're just wasting your time. That's all. Then inhale, sit to one side.
Sir, I had a doubt in Adho Mukha Virasana.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. In Adho Mukha Virasana, like our knees are separate and our toes are together. But in normal Virasana, our knees are together, right?
Yeah, correct. So this is it's a different asana. It is not your normal virasana. In normal virasana, when you do that, your feet is away from each other and the knees are together. So this is the normal hero pose. But when you're doing Supta Virasana or sleeping Adho Mukha Virasana, downward facing Virasana, the knees are separated like that and you lie down flat.
Yes, sir.
Like that. You pointed it right. And in this, you can see the flatness of the back. So it's opening the hips and flattening. It's a very good asana for improving the back problems. Those who got no back pain, because it flattens the back. Nice and full flatness will come on your back. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Is there anybody who is not able to see the video? I hope I'm visible now, all of you.
Yes, sir, you're visible.
I found some.
Sir, I can see you.
You can see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think there is some problem in some user. He's not able to see.
So I re-join, I refresh the page. It works.
Okay. And then we do Purvottanasana. So I inhale, sit to one side. See, did you see me how I waited for my breath to complete? Then exhale. Samasthiti. Inhale here. Exhale, slide the arms 1 foot. And then inhale, lift the body like a inclined pan. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, relax. So as I was trying to effortfully lift up, what are the important points in Purvottanasana? Trying to Stretch the toes and try to touch the tip of the fingers on the mat. Trying to lift the hip as high as you can lift up. The throat will stretch for thyroid pulling. Drishti will be on the eyebrow. Teeth is together. Breath is Ujjayi, ocean breath. So that was Purva Uttanasana. Purva means east. Uttana means stretch or intense lengthening. Ardha Matsyendrasana. See, that straightness has to come first. Ekam inhale. I'll show this side so that it is visible for you. I'll fold my right leg first. Kept it below the other knee. Who's with some chat? I think 1 second. So I inhale, fold my first leg below the other knee. Then exhale, keep this foot on the other side of this folded leg. So it's a crisscross. Now inhale, right hand up, left hand back. That reach is good. Then while exhaling, I bring this armpit on the thigh. You saw that? The chest came outside my thigh. It's not like this. This you cannot do. So that's the reason for lifting this arm. Tanmay and all. Don't waste your time. See, observe how it is happening. Slow down. See, first thing you have to do is slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Breathe very slow, 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 slow. Watch one step. Then go to the next. Then go to the next. So when I say fold the right leg below the left knee, do only that. Exhale. With control. Inhale, hand up. Exhale, armpit on the thigh. Start the first inhalation. Fill up the lungs. 1. I'm breathing more into the left lungs. Little more I rotated. And exhale. Then inhale, untwist. Exhale, unlock. So the most important part in this asana is that armpit lock. Some people call it Jalahala Bandha and all. I think some teachers. So don't try to do that asana like this. Like this. Where is the twist? No twist. So this hand goes up and bring the armpit like this. You have to effortfully do it. It may not happen in the beginning. Day by day. Practice, 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 practice. Bring it. So it will be somewhere here like this initially will start. Then you will feel, okay, I can push this knee inside a little more and bring the armpit a little more in. And then bring that chest out and then bring the armpit. And then very easy to catch the ankle. So that's Ardha Matsyendra. Then last asana in sitting position is Gomukhasana. Inhale. So let me show you the back view. I think that may be easier to do. I'll fold my one leg. Now before folding, I want to see that cross. Now inhale, I fold left leg below the right knee first. Then when I keep the other leg, you have to fold it completely. See, both the feet is going back. So the knees are coming in one line. Both the knees, one line. The feet goes back. Feet is pointed backward, not like this. There is no Gomukhasana like this. So try to bend the leg this side and fold the leg other side. So that thighs will overlap, the knees will come one above the other, like that. That is inhalation and exhalation. Don't do too much worried. अरे यार मेरा turn नहीं हो रहा है, ये नहीं हो रहा है, वो नहीं होगा. It will not happen for many months. Don't worry. Follow the things. Follow the process. It will not happen within few months and all. It will take many years, don't worry. Just keep the fire on. So then with an inhalation, I have to do the finger catch. Inhale, arm up and bottom arm up. On the first exhalation, I'll catch the finger. As much straight as possible. Exhale. Inhale, unlock the top leg. Exhale, unlock the bottom. Samasthiti. That was Gomukhasana. Any doubts on sitting asanas? One more asana I forgot. Marichi asana. Ekam. Inhale, bend the left leg. Exhale, bring the left arm in front of your left leg. You brought it in front, correct? Now inhale and take a binding. So I have to take this hand back and right hand from the back. That's done with an inhalation. See how much I'm catching. I'm catching the wrist almost. How did this happen? Can you tell me? Because I took this right shoulder back. It's not only the game of one hand. Both your front bend, bringing the arm in front of the shin. That's also important. So trying to get that forward bend and taking the other shoulder from the back. So did you see how much I'm catching that hand? That much you have to catch. I mean with experience. It may start from here, 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 here. And then finally it will reach there. And then Chatwari. Pancha, inhale, sit up, release the hands. Exhale, release the leg. That's called sage posture, Marichi asana. So I finished all the sitting asanas of the month. Any clarifications on sitting asanas?
The asana just previous to this one, the hips should be on the floor, not on the heels.
Not on the heels. Gomukhasana, cow face posture. Both the buttocks are resting on the floor. There is a next level to it where it is done with sitting on the leg, on the feet. So we don't practice in this class because it's an intermediate level. We don't practice that. In BKS Iyengar light on yoga, it is done as you said. So in that position, they sit on the feet, and then they cross the leg. But I don't want to do that because it's difficult. Many people find it tough because they'll hurt their knee, ankle and all. I don't want to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
So in Marichi Asana, does your basically your thigh sticks to your body, or does it move a little bit?
Body will be inside the thigh. So the body comes here, right? It will stick to the it will stick to the body. The thigh will touch the body. It will be squeezed on the body with this binding. You can see that view. I mean, little if I tilt, you can see how it's touching. The thigh is touching the body. It's not away.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. So, okay, that's so. Do we go further?
Sridhar here. Shall I add one point on this Ardha Matsyendrasana, please?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, can you just do Ardha Matsyendrasana, if you don't mind? Yeah. Yes. Now I want everyone to note when he's taking his hand back and bringing it. See, his stomach is coming out first. Taking back, he's leaning a little back, taking his stomach out, and then bringing the arm inside, so that you can twist very well. Otherwise, your stomach will stop. See that now the stomach comes out, then brings his arm in, put inside to catch it. So otherwise, your stomach will stop it, and you will not be in a position to catch, bring your armpit inside. So I want just to highlight that point also, that taking the stomach outside, turning, and then bringing the armpit inside the thighs.
Yeah, so very important point, Sridhar. So that's the idea of that leaning a little, taking the arm up. So I've seen many people, they don't do all these steps. They'll do this much and that's all. So when
So
you
the
do,
stomach will stop thighs. It will not allow you to twist.
yeah, so that's the reason for those 4 steps. Rightly what Sridhar said is that I have to
Take the right hand up, bending back.
yeah, lean a little, and then so the stomach has already cleared the thigh line.
Thighs. Right.
And then when I bring down, it'll almost come out. So it comes outside and you will be able to breathe. Both the lungs are outside the thigh here on this. So your breath will be good. Many people, they say in twisting postures, I'm not able to breathe. The reason is that you're not like what he said. Like this, you cannot breathe because my right lung is fully obstructed. Like how can I breathe? Very tough. It will be labored breathing. So try to get that, what Sridhar said, taking that 3rd step, arm up and then bringing down. All that is done.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sridhar.
Sir, the Marichi Asana, when you are bending your left knee and you're bringing your armpit on the thigh, how is my left foot? Is it supposed to be straight or can I tilt it?
No, it's a standing leg. So this leg is completely grounded and the body moves. The foot doesn't change.
Straight.
The foot is straight. The body moves and takes the binding. This is grounded fully. It should not lift up or anything like that. The work happens with this binding and the bend. Like that. So adjust the position of this foot accordingly so that you get the leverage to go down. It should not be too close, neither too far. If you observe, I moved a little. I was not getting that stretch. So I
Pointing in the front.
yeah, both the feet facing front. Right toe also pointed forward because I am not catching the toe. Unlike Paschimottanasana or any asanas of those forward bending nature. And then we go to the next sequence. Now, what do I do? So when generally you lie down, it's always good to keep this one. A cloth mat on the rubber mat. The reason being, see, there will be oil on your hair. When you put the oil on the rubber mat, it will start slipping. So generally I use this. When I sit down or generally when I lie down, this comes into. So it helps me to avoid putting oil on the mat. I think already we have a little shortage of time. So I think will any other asanas anybody wants to ask, then I'll explain them. Otherwise, we'll go to the pranayama section. It's already 5:30. Nobody. So, and then we go to pranayama section. So in pranayama, this month, what is the first one? Kapala Bhati Pranayama. Kapala means skull, Bhati means shine, abdominal breathing. Action happens on stomach, not on the the lower lungs, not on the upper lungs. Start with those strokes. So what is the technique? I have to inhale, normal breath. When I exhale, the stomach goes in. Then again, when I inhale, stomach comes out. Exhale, stomach goes in. I'm going to do it slow now, okay? Some people do reverse. That's the problem. So they will do, it's very difficult to do the reverse. I don't know how people do it. So they will do like this. I'm getting confused how to do it. No. So what am I doing? When I am inhaling, I am pulling the stomach in. That is wrong. Never do that. It is opposite. It will only damage the lungs. What you are supposed to do is inhale normally. When you are exhaling, the stomach is pulled in. If you want, you can keep one hand and feel it. I'm going to do it once again slowly. Please mute your phones. Who is on unmute? Let me mute all once. Okay. So try to practice. If you cannot follow my timing, it's okay. You can practice on your own time. That's no problem. Gradually you can improve. In the beginning, you can do it very slow like this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beyond this, I cannot explain. So, if you're not able to do this, you just slow down, slow down, slow down. Close your eyes. Sit in a silent room. No, don't listen to me, nobody. Just, I know people who cannot do this. They have been struggling for years. They are not able to do this. The problem is not with their lungs, neither with their stomach or anything. It is the problem is the thoughts are shuffled. The thoughts are mixed. So you have to identify, okay, now slow down, remove the clutter from the mind. Just close your eyes, sit quietly. Take inhale, exhale, stomach in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So actual Kapalabhati inhalation is that conscious. So it's like this. The inhales are short and the exhalations are rapid and forceful. So that's how you do Kapalabhati. So I've explained Kapalabhati. Any doubts on Kapalabhati? Otherwise, I'll go to next pranayama. What is it called? Ujjayi pranayama. This month it's Ujjayi. Uj means up. Jaya means win. So winning over ourselves. It's also called as victorious breath. Ujjayi pranayama is called victorious breath. And people call it as ocean breathing. All is the same. Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breath, victory over ourselves, and ocean breathing, all of them. So I'm going to just show you 1 or 2 rounds. So I exhale completely. Keep the chin down. Then start inhaling. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Did you observe the chest rising? Hold. Hold. Did you observe that timing of inhalation was almost 16 seconds. So consciously slowing down and taking that breath. That's called victorious breath or Ujjayi pranayama. Inhalation, holding, exhalation, holding. Then what do? We just sit silently, meditate for some time. And then after that, lying down in Shavasana, we practice Omkara. How to do Omkara? I'm doing in sitting position. In the class, it will be done in lying position. Take inhalation. So that is Omkara. So now you observe, now the timing improved. Reason is after the asanas. So the asanas help you to open really all the ribs, chest, lungs, everything really opens up when you practice asanas. And then the lung has the capacity to slow down, to take good in breaths and slow down the exhalations. So always it's a very good idea to practice pranayamas after doing asanas towards the end. If you don't have time, it's okay. You can do it in the beginning as opening and then do the asanas, then finish it with pranayama. All that is fine. Any queries? Otherwise, I have to wind up another 5 or 10 minutes. Any questions? Who all are there in the class? Neha.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Alka here.
Yeah.
In the Ujjain Pranayama, is it one inhalation and exhalation per minute?
No. See, what we are doing in this current class is the 8-second inhalation, 6-second holding the time,
Okay.
8-second exhalation, and
Okay.
4-second holding after exhalation. It is like 26 seconds is one side.
Okay.
Then we return with 26. So it will be around like 52 seconds for one cycle.
Okay. Okay.
Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. That is one cycle. It will be roughly what you spoke is fairly, almost like a minute. So yes,
Okay.
52 seconds like that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, in all the asanas where there is hamstring stretch, I face lot of difficulty. Whether it is mountain pose, I am not able to touch the heels on the floor. And in lot of, I forget the name of that asana, that arrow shooting asana, where we,
Yeah.
but there also I face this thing. What can I do to, improve?
Yeah. So last class, I think Divya asked this question. So I explained 2 techniques to improve that. One is that when you do loosening practice or some of the stretches that you do, you can do it with the wall. Like you can place your leg on the wall or a window or something, that kind of level like this, and then try to bend keep it on some surface which has got some support. Otherwise, it will slip. I don't have anything here, so.
Sir, I understood, sir. So when you are doing the loosening thing during our sessions, so that time or during the day itself, I do sometimes.
In our loosening practice, you will find we do that Chakki Chalana. You remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we do this way. When we stretch and then go this way and come. This is actually pulling the hamstring only, bottom of the hamstring. So you can try going a little deeper. This way, that will try to go a little deeper in your circle. But you have to be careful. See, all these, all your muscle joints are all for a lifetime. So you have to give it its time to, get those extensions. It may take, see, I know many students, they are not able to do a forward bend for many months or a few years. So yes, if you go faster than what your body allows you to do, you will get an injury. I don't want that to come. So the only way is, have patience, focus a little more on those, qualities. I mean, if you can improve the quality of those actions, but do be careful not to injure them, because injury means then it will take time to heal, especially when it after some age. You have to go slow. You have to give the body its own time. Generally, hamstrings are tight for people who do a lot of other workouts, like maybe jogging. They do the other games. They don't properly loosen before the practice and after the practice. If you see all these cricket players or football players, they do lot of stretches before the game, and also when they do the their own coaching sessions and all. They do lot of stretches after the game also. After the games, you would have seen them sitting them, shaking this thing. They do this way, that way. So the muscles are not kept tight. After the match is over, the muscles are quite tight. They want to lengthen it and make it little extended, so that doesn't become stiff. Similarly, when you do jogging, treadmills at home, do a little stretches. But before you start, warm-ups, and after you finish also, give a little stretches or things like that. Whenever possible, either before or after, so that the stiffness doesn't come during practicing other exercises.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I think most of the queries are over if there are no queries. So I've always been telling, follow processes while practicing. Keep as I said, there are 3 pillars of yoga practice. The first pillar is breathing. Second pillar is gaze or drishti. And third pillar is the physical posture itself. In order of, that is the importance is in that order. Prioritize proper breath. Secondly, look at one point. I've seen many people when they do especially children and youngsters and all, when they do the asanas, they don't look at that point. The moment they look, after some time they want to stretch and then get there, and that time they look here, there, they pull. So what happens in that process is the mind gets diverted. So when you're doing a particular asana, look at that point. Steady gaze is important. When you do any balancing pose, like this month, what is the balancing pose? So every month you will get one balancing pose. Now when you do that, Uttita Hasta Padangushtasana, right? When you do that, inhale, bend the leg, exhale, straight. Now when I look at one point, that's where when I steady that gaze, that point, now I am able to balance properly. It's okay to bend the knee, no problem. Just keeping the back straight, I look at one point and balance. So even if I fall, so imagine I fall, still I am looking at that point. And then I start again. So what comes, I will be able to analyze my situation better if I am able to focus my drishti on one point, steady the gaze. So these things will lead us to those final physical postures will come. So the priority is not for the actual final posture. It's not. Priority is for calming the breath, steadying the drishti, observing the process, discipline of practice. All this will take you to that final posture. Don't think if I do chakrasana very well, my yoga is over. No, it is not over. I have discovered this during my journey of practice. It is not. Earlier I used to think like that. आज मैं चक्रासना करके ही रहूंगा. आज मैं तोड़ दूंगा मेरा आज का पूरा कोटा खत्म कर दूंगा. पूरा पानी पानी होके एक हफ्ता योगा नहीं करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. ऐसा कसरत में आज कर लूंगा पूरा योगा आज. उसके बाद 2 हफ्ता योगा का जरूरत ही नहीं है. No need for yoga for 2 weeks. Today my yoga is full. That is called bhogasana. That is not yogasana. So remove this thought from your mind. Everyday practice with proper process. Enough. That is yoga. Don't worry that I am not able to do chakrasana. No problem. Let it take. That is yoga. Okay. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Then we close the prayer. So I inhale, take my arms over the head. Into heart. Close the eye, take in breath. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचाम् मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीना पताञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिराणतोऽस्मि शांति शांति शांति. Gently bow down. Thank God from the heart.
Not a physical action. You have to thank God really.
And then come back. Okay. Namaste. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.